Okay, stage 4 of putting together the Briksmax lighting kit for the Lego Batmobile. Having looked at the manual, this one looks like it's going to be a bit more fiddly as we're adding lights to the guns. So, first order of business is to dismantle the guns somewhat. So first thing we do is pop these guns up using their control at the back, and then we need to take the side panels off, which well, hopefully not too tricky. Yeah. That's it. There's one. And there's the other one. And now it wants us to take the front of the gun pieces off. And I think, no. And also, let's take these panels off as well. Right. I think that's everything that needs to come off. Put that to one side for now. The actual fitting of the lights doesn't seem too bad, because all we're doing is threading them through these. Yeah, so if those pins are going to cause us bother, but we'll see. To make sure the LED's at the right end. Feed that through there. And feed all around. Feed this one through there. Right, it's suggested doing it this way. So take these apart. And then clip this back in. There's a trick here. So clipping this back in without pushing the LED back out. Yeah, that's a tight fit. I think that's in far enough. Actually, I'll try putting the clip in without that rod inside it first. Might make life a little bit easier. Oh, yeah, actually that was a lot easier. And pushing that through. Yeah. And then take that through the second barrel. And that just pushes onto the back now. I wonder if that position that holds down the gap in the clip. So yeah, this is very tight. leave that out for now. And push that in last. Yeah. That's going to leave a bit of a gap. But there's much to do about that. Take that out. Just doing that a bit more cleverly. Put it down the gap. Oh. No. And again, what I'm trying to do is fit the cable down that gap in the clip. You can see that. And the theory being, it should give us a bit more play. At least when pushing these together. Yeah, that works much better. Actually, might do the other one again because this one's a much tighter fit. And that goes back in there. Yeah, I'm going to redo this one. Right, so again, feeding that down the gap in the front of the clip. I'm somewhat concerned that's going to damage the cables. And feeding that down the same gap on the back of the clip. Trying to maintain tension on the cable so it doesn't push it forward too far. Yeah, and that's again much better fit. And put this back in. That's a lot tighter. This does want to go back in. Yeah, that's probably not going to help. There we go. Right. Same on there. I have to push those further in again. Otherwise they'll not go back onto the main body. Right, yeah. Actually, I wonder if I can use that to push this piece in a bit more. Actually, no, that didn't work. Use this one. All I'm doing is pushing that rod in further so it's flush, so when I put it back onto the main body it actually connects properly. There you go. Yep. Right, so we now have lights on the guns. Yeah, I'm going to position the cable so it comes down off the bottom of the gun, and the instructions have told us to wrap it round the back like so, so it's held in place once it's back on the main body. Right, let's see how that works. Try and find a way to lift this without dismantling it. Oh. Right. So, part of the trick here is going to be maintaining a bit of slack. Right, okay. Just noticed something else that needs to come off. Yep. What it asked us to do is remove those. So, yeah, you can see there we now have a gap here, which to facilitate the feeding of the cable. So I'm just trying to see how. Yeah, I think once it take it down that gap. I was curious to see if there's potentially a better option, but no, that probably is going to be the safest bet, considering that piece moves. Right. So what we do now? Right. Put that on its side. That'll stay. Of course, that falls off. Right, I'm going to wrap this in such a way that once it's on, the cable goes towards the centre of the Batmobile, and that clips in there. The usual issue with it now having a cable in between the gap that doesn't fit quite as tightly as it did previously. Oh, okay. Right, so. Alright, no, I need to read the instructions more. Right, what it's actually done, bring that back up. Right, takes that off, have the cable come around this way, and then feed through that, which actually is a much neater solution looking at it. And then that goes back on. What I do is push that back in, so I know I've got plenty of slack. This is slightly confusing, as it seems to be telling me to do two different options. Right, I'm tempted to put it there and then feed it this way. As most of it, the manual on this point isn't very clear. And that goes down there. And that can sit under that gap. And what I'm going to do, let's see, if I put that back. And bring the gun up. Yeah, that's a bit tight. Actually, that's as tight as it needs to be, looks like. A bit more slack, just. Right, so now if I put that back. That goes fine, yeah. Put that in there. So that's moving fine, the cable's moving, it's got enough freedom to be able to do that. Now if I put these pieces back, so hopefully that, no, don't want to do that, come on. Right. Do it this way. Right, so we get that piece in place, just feed that in, put these pieces back, that feeds under there, just a bit, would be nice if there was a way to feed that through the body a bit more so it just comes out in the middle. But what I can do, this is what it actually tells me to do, in a second. Yeah. So now what it's telling me to do here is feed it through these gaps in the chassis, these holes. Just a bit. Having this Technics chassis has proven quite handy just because of all of the holes it can feed the cables through. So we now have yet another cable coming out of the middle of the chassis, feeding through that hole there. So the cables come from the gun under this plate here, down through this gap, down the gap in the middle of these, under this bit of pipe, then out through the chassis into the middle to join the mess of other cables. Right, I might as well put this back on. Then we'll do the other side. Now I know what we're doing. And I can fix the fin I've just snapped off. Well, what are the odds of me accidentally snapping the other fin off? Right, now essentially do the same on the other side. But first thing I'll do is take these pieces out and bring them back up. I'll take that off and get the gun. Right, so I'll feed the cable around that side so that fits back in there. And then that clips over, holding the cable in place. Right, and I want that to run down and there. Right. And then just make sure there's a bit of slack, and I'll put this piece back on to hold that in place. Let's give that a quick test, make sure we haven't. Yeah, that's looking good to me. I'll leave the guns down now. Right, put these back on. Put the side panel back on, and then finally feed this through the hole in the chassis. So it's here with all of the other cables. I'm tempted to do here. Since we've got these, most of these are the ones coiled and joined together, I'm just going to try and tidy things up a little bit. Right, that one's there. I'll take these two black ones from the lights we previously put in over the wheels and coil those together so a matched pair. So the next stage, actually start connecting stuff together. I might actually be able to give it a quick test to see, to make sure what we've done so far is actually lighting up. But that will be the next video, or the next stage. Right, so that's now essentially one coiled piece, and I'm going to do the same with these two. So essentially the like pieces have this relationship when it comes to the cabling. Right. Okay. And that is the lighting and the guns done. I'll leave these covers off for now until it's all done, because the odds are they just keep falling off every time I turn the Batmobile over. Right, on to the next video.